Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays, whichever one you prefer. But it is Christmas Day, and I hope Santa brought you exactly what you asked for, if you were a good agent this year. Now, typically, what happens every Christmas is you get new stuff, you have to throw away the wrappers, and then you have to figure out where to put all this new stuff, right? And, well, the same could be said about the Division 2. We have this new winter event going on. We have times 5 XP going on. There's a lot of exclusive items, new gear sets, brand sets, and everything in between. So it's hard to decipher, what you want to keep and what you want to, gift to another friend, if you know what I mean. So, in this video, we're going to go over inventory and stash management, what weapons to look for, what talents to look for, what gear sets and brand sets to look for, and what types of attributes. That way you don't have the problem of a full stash and a full inventory like I typically run into. Even with a Mule character, and I'll talk about the Mule character here in a second, but even with a Mule character, it's still pretty difficult for me to even stay on top of all the gear and weapons that I get. Because we all like to collect all the new shiny things, and it's like, oh yeah, that looks amazing. I know a good build I could use for that. And then you put it in your stash and you forget about it, So we're going to dust off some of those items today, and we're going to see what is gold and what's trash. So I hope you enjoy. Here we go. What's going on, YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 video. So sit back, relax, grab that popcorn. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. And finally, hey, don't just shout out where you're from today. All right? It's Christmas Day. All right? So just say happy holidays and from wherever it is you're from, okay? That's it. Just happy holidays and then shout out where you're from. It's going to be cool to see where everyone's from. I hope you have a great day, and let's jump into it. So first up, inventory management. So typically what I like to do is I like to have all of my builds set up in my loadouts. So remember that you have different build loadouts. Now, if you were to accidentally put some of these items into the stash, you can still take them directly out of the stash just from these loadouts. So they are very helpful. Now, not only that, but did you know, little side note here, did you know that you had apparel loadouts too? So I can jump over to any of my, holiday outfits. And I think I'm going to do a short today and show you all of the different holiday outfits that are in the game, because it's really cool once you check them all out. Anywho, going back to the inventory, right? So we'll start with weapons. We'll start there, and then we'll dabble with some gear. And then, oh, Delta. Yeah, Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. All right, sorry, I had to hard reset because of the Delta. Oh, come on. Yeah, I was about to say, load me in. Now, we just talked about loadouts, how it's easy to keep track of your gear that way. You can take gear in and out of your stash that way as well. Now, going back to that and our inventory, the next thing I would like to talk about are your weapons, and then we'll jump into the gear. So first up, your weapons. You'll see that pretty much every single weapon I have has damage to targets out of cover for the bottom attribute. Every single one. Now, the reason for that, well, except for the pistol, but that's because this is a movement speed pistol, and it's not for damage, it's for movement speed. But all my other weapons have damage to targets out of cover. That is the attribute that you want on all your weapons, period. Unless you are trying to do a all damage to armor build, or an all damage to health build, or a nothing but crit build or something like that, sure. But as far as the best for your weapon, it's damage to targets out of cover. So whenever you're going through your weapons and your gear, you need damage to targets out of cover. Not only that, but you need damage to targets out of cover for your bottom attribute as a drop, not as a recalibrated attribute. That way, you can see right here, I can then change my talent to whatever it is I want. So if I want to go close and personal, boom. If I want to go strained, boom. If I want to go bleed build, boom. I could switch it to whatever type of build I want at that moment, knowing that I have the best damage attribute already on the weapon. So that's going to be your first thing when looking at your weapons, is if it's a primary or secondary weapon, you need damage to targets out of cover, or it's not really going to be worth it. Not only that, but you need damage to targets out of cover, just like this handbasket here. You can see that I had determined and I only wanted determined. So then I changed to damage to targets out of cover. But if I wanted my handbasket to have something else, then it would be screwed, right? Because then I would be stuck with determined. But in this case, that's the best talent to have, so I'm good to go here. But typically, you would want it to drop with damage to targets out of cover, so then you can go back and change the talent and tweak your build to fit your playstyle. Pretty cool, right? Next up, for the gear items, tip and trick here, same type of deal, is you want the right attributes to drop. That way you can change the talent. So, for example, you can see this Petrov chess piece. I have it dropped with double crit, so then I can change the talent to whatever it is I want. So sometimes when I'm in a group, they want Unbreakable. Sometimes I'll run Spotter. Sometimes I'll run Intimidate. Or if I'm nasty and I woke up and chose Violence, I'll go with Glass Cannon. So it just depends that way, but it makes it easier for your inventory and easier for your stash. Because if you have all of the gear items with the attributes you already want, and you have all the weapons with the attributes you already want, you can just change the talent to match your build. That will dramatically cut down on the number of items you have in your inventory and in your stash. Because you already have the attribute you want, you can either change it to, go Glass Cannon for your damage builds. It's easy, mix and match, and just plug and play. Now, let me see here. I think that might be it for just like the tips and tricks right there. And we can actually jump into the inventory and stash part of it. Yeah. So even for backpacks, same deal, like this y'all bag. I wanted armor regen crit. I got it to drop that way, and then I could change my backpack talent to match whatever it is I want. It makes life so much easier when you do it that way. Same with this Golden Gear bag. I wanted armor regeneration crit, and then that way I could change my talent. I could go Unbreakable, I could go Efficient, I could go Spotter. It doesn't matter. It makes life very easy if you farm and organize your items that way. Okay. Next up, let's start talking about our stash and mule characters, because this is where things get a little complicated. So you have exotics, you have gear set items, you have brand set items, then you have high-end weapons. After that, you have more. I mean, it balloons, right? In every single season, we get more named items, we get more gear sets, more brand sets, blah, blah, blah. So the way to fix this problem right off the bat is a mule character. So let me show you what I mean. Because at this point, you can start allocating different things for your different characters. to where typically you just have 4 characters and you just transfer the same build to each of the characters and just farm that way, what have you. I don't really play that way. I primarily only play on 2 characters. Well, actually, to be honest, I actually only primarily play on 1 character. I have a Mule, and then I have 2 other characters that I could run like raids and incursions with. So here's your character loadout, right? You have only 4 spots available. Now, if you use one of these spots for hardcore mode, then you will not be able to do all of this that I'm about to show you. But all of these characters share the same stash. So technically, you can use the 150 inventory on this character, this character, this character, and this character. So instead of it being a 150 inventory, you kind of just quadrupled it to 600, or right? Yeah, 600. So what do I mean by that? Well, here's my main mule, if you will. Because out of everything in the game, the worst thing is gear sets.
Agent, priority objective available.
Gear sets are the worst thing to grind for in the game.
Detected.
Because there are so many different ways you could run them. There are so many different core attribute ways you could run them. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, the list goes on. But you can see this is my second character. This is my Mule character. And I've had this character for years and years and years. The only reason that I have this character is to hold all of my gear set items. That's really it. Because I have so many gear set items, and you can see, what, all of them have expertise on it, at least expertise 12. So I've spent a lot of time farming all of these items. I don't even have any extra weapons, anything like that. I literally just have all gear set items. Now the problem is that if I go to my stash, each of my categories have a crap ton of gear set items. So this means that I've been farming gear set items and keeping items, and I don't know which ones are duplicates and which ones aren't, because my Mule character that typically holds my gear set items is full, and now they're starting to spill over into my stash. So that's a big problem for me today. Yo, these guys do not shut up. They don't. Like, I'm just at a safe house and he just won't stop talking. I don't even have my modifiers on. He just won't shut up. And then the devs are like, well, people don't like it when they talk. And it's like, bro, I'm just sitting here working my inventory and he's talking every 30 seconds. Look at that. I'd rather listen to these people if I'm being honest. Anywho, going back to my Mule character, this is my gear set character. So how you could do this is you could do your main character, gear set character, and then exotic character, and then have like an extra for either hardcore mode or just an extra character to run events with. Because remember, all of your projects, all of your things, you can do on each of your characters. You can farm 4 times everything every week. I mean, hell, you could do this every day. Because if you go to your projects, every day you get a new seasonal project that you can do. And that's on each of your characters. So that's a guaranteed shade level right there. And during the 5 times XP, you can see how that starts to stack really crazy. But here's my third character. You can notice that I have a 0 inventory. So what I can do is make this character my exotic character. So then I have a main character, I have a gear set Mule, and then I can have a exotic Mule. That way I don't get carried away with my exotics, okay? So this will be the first step. We're going to clear our stash of all of the exotics, and then we're going to see what we have on this character and see if there's any exotics that we just do not need to use. All right, each of these categories are now empty. Okay? So going to my exotics, let's see what we have. And let's see if they're even worth it. I mean, sheesh. We have the Bullet King. Yeah, okay. Iron Lung, Chameleon, Eagle Bearer. We're looking for something with no expertise. That'll signify it's new. All of these are very high up. There we go, the Bittersweet. Well, this is the brand new rifle, and this is the first rifle that I've ever gotten. So I have not expertise upgraded it yet, and I have not changed the bottom attributes. So we're going to keep that there because that is a amazing weapon, and I'll show why in a future video. We have both of our pistols, going to mask. The catalyst. Do people actually use the catalyst? Dealing and receiving status effects will build up a stack, giving you weapon damage and more status effects. Oh, yeah. I was told to use that with the blue screen. That's right. I haven't even gotten one to drop yet. Then we have the Tinkerer here with a mod. Ooh. Here's the first whoopsie that I just made. You never another mod right there. You never transfer things over with mods on them because then you lose your mods. Oh man, that's a big hiccup. And those were maxed out mods too. Hold on. I have 3 mods here. Max crit chance, max crit damage, and max armor on kill. That's where that one was. Sheesh. All right, so I put those back in the stash. Going to the chest pieces. I mean, I don't really use the collector. Yeah, I don't use that. Let's get rid of that. The collector's due to garbage. I'll do another beacon build. I'll do another provocateur build. Ridgeway's Pride is Bay. BTSU's good. Overdogs is Bay. Shocker Punch is good. Waveform. The Blacklisters. No. Get those out of here. All right. So now our third character, our exotic character, is good to go. All right. So that's it. Exotic character, good to go. Nothing I have to worry about for my inventory. Nothing I have to worry about for my mods on these items. And I don't have to worry about my exotics. So I just knocked out all of that and I separated it so I know exactly where all of my exotics are. So if I want to come back, I know that my secondary character will have all my gear sets and my third character will have all my exotics. What's going up with this loading screen here? There we go. All right. So going back to that secondary character, remember that my problem is that I have too many gear set items and I don't know what I'm duplicating and what I'm like just doing because I put these builds together and I don't really jump from character to character to realize, oh wait, I have that on this character. But before I do that, let me double check this character for mods because I feel like I have missing mods now. And this is, yeah, I do right here. Dude, this is a huge problem. Okay. Let's see how many mods I get. So let's burn. Yeah, dude. Maxed out repair skills. Maxed out crit damage. Another max armor on kill. Yeah, see, there's so many of these that I keep on these items, and then I forget that they exist. See, that's a max pulse build. And I'm missing that max pulse mod. There's a max bleed mod. And then this way, I don't keep forgetting where my mods are. Dude, how many mods do you misplace? Protects you from elites. I bet I'm going to end up with like 70 mods on this character. Another max pulse resistance mod there. And this is my Mule, so I don't even know that these are here. Max repair skills. Max headshot. So this would be your next thing, is go through all your items, make sure you take your mods off, because if you're getting rid of an item that you don't typically use, you don't want to also get rid of a maxed out mod, because this game does not give maxed out mods, as frequent as we would like. And it's not like you can buy or craft a maxed out mod. So they're very rare to come by. So that's why over the years I have my mods. Yeah, see, look at that. We're at 58 mods. And these are all maxed out. Yeah. Oop, except for that protection from elites. Yeah, okay. All right. So now I know that my Mule character has all my extra mods right there, not on the items. And then I can come over here and get them if I need them. Okay. But if I add them to my stash, is it going to add to the number? Yeah, see, it does. And that'll max out my stash really, really quick if I do it that way. Yeah, see, now we're already maxed. Okay. So we'll go back. Let's get rid of... I don't need all of these mods. All of the resistance mods I can keep on my Mule. All the extra protection from elites I can keep on my Mule. But I do want the pulse, the armor on kill, the crit, and the headshot damage. Skill duration I can keep on my Mule, but keep the skill haste. Repair skills I need for a healer build. Keep the skill duration, repair skills, skill haste, and there we go. All right. But see, now my stash is nearly full. So we have another huge problem. Now what you need to do then is put those mods on your main character. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put the remaining gear set items into the stash and organize them that way. We'll go through them, figure out which ones we can get rid of, put them, all the remaining ones, on our secondary character. And then by then, we should just have our main character to worry about and our high-end items only. So that our third character will have all of the exotics. Our secondary character will have all the gear set items. And then our primary character can be free to frolic and do whatever the hell he wants to do. Okay. So we need to then put all of the mods on our primary character. That way we can use those later. Now, for a typical build, you only need, what, 5 mods? Maybe 4?
Entering safe area.
And I think there's only a max of 7, right? So 1, 2, 3. You could do 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 mods would be the max. Okay. So whenever you think of it that way, if you have more than 7 of any of these mods, then you have too many. So just remember it that way. I am already maxed out on mods, aren't I? Yes, I am. Okay. Let's see here. 1, 2, 2 headshot, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 7 headshot right there. So any more headshots need to go away. There's 8. There's 9. There's 10. Any more headshots need to go away. Negative. Okay. So then go back into the stash. I can actually just get rid of those. I don't need them. Okay. Any more headshots can just go away. Bro. Maybe that's why they were all stuck on those gear items, because I didn't need any of them. They're all headshot mods. And I don't need printer filament either. Very good. So then next, because remember 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 7 is the max. So let's do crit damage. 1, doop ba doop ba doop, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There you go. Booyah. And for crit chance, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's that one. There's that one. Holy moly. I had like 14 crit chance mods. I don't even need those because even with a chill out and all improvise, yeah. So even just having 7 of each is enough. All right, so now we are well. There we go. Prepared to take the rest. Okay. So now we have all of our mods. Dude, we're at 100 again. Let's do skill haste. 1, 2. Oh, hold on. Skill duration is all on my other characters, so get rid of any skill duration first. Okay. And then 7 is the max. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dude, I only have 4 skill haste mods? What the hell? Repair skills 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Dude, I had way too many repair skill mods. All right. So there's all that. Let's see. Pulse resistance incoming. I don't need all of the shock or the blind deaf. All of that's on my other character too. And you can see I've just been collecting these over time. I do need the bleed for the backfire. I don't need disrupt. There we go. Yeah, for those I can just I could just sell them. Not making much, but better than nothing, I guess. Okay, so we just did the utility mods. We did the offensive mods, defensive. Incoming 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pulse resistance 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yo, we have 9 max pulse resistance mods. I might try to make a max pulse resistance build with no system and no y'all gear. Holy moly. Well, we'll come back to that, all right? So those are the mods. We took care of that. We got it all out of the secondary and third characters. Let's double check the gear items, though, with the mods. Yeah, see, these... We're still going to have so many mods to go through. Let's see, hold on. Yeah, because a lot of these... So that's going to be the first thing to do. That way you don't lose track of your mods, and that way you know that you're not hoarding too many mods. Because I clearly have been hoarding mods for far too long. And I had no idea. Because even, yeah, I keep counting over and over to make sure I'm not, like, doing anything crazy. And it is. Like, the max mods you can have on a build is 7. So for me to have, like, 13 crit chance mods, there's really no reason. It's quite hilarious once you think about it. Look at all of these gear items with mods. It's crazy. This seems to be a very bad practice that I've been doing for a long time now. Maybe just with my build making, I like just throw them in the stash and forget about it. But there are so many. All right, so I think I did it. Backpacks are good. Okay. Mask right there. Any chill out. All right, mask are good. Okay. So now we have to go through our gear items that are not a part of the build and get rid of all of these extra mods. That sucks. Doop-a-doop. But it will be well worth it in the end, because now I think I'll have plenty of space on all of my characters, and I'll have space for my mods as well after all of this is completed. But what I'm doing is I'm taking any extra mods off of these gear items. That way, when I go through the gear items and I decide to get rid of something, I don't hold on to it just because I might have a mod attached to it. Okay. So all of these are now good. Going to the backpack. And that way, for example, my armor on kill. Oop, I have too many mods. Let's put... Let's see here. How many pulse resistance do I have again? I think I had like 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, there's 8. There's 9. Okay. So we'll get rid of those. Next would be protection from elites. 1. 2. Oh, geez. For armor on kill, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5. Okay. And then incoming repairs, I don't really use pretty much at all. I'll use one with like a catharsis just to give it a little more of an umph, but I don't really use incoming repairs like that. Not on myself. I'll use repair skills and help other people out.
That filled my inventory. Thank you.
Booyah. So now we're at 97. Let's go back to these. 1, 2, 3. Oh, geez. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. Repair skills. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good to go there. Headshots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Any more headshots? Negative.
Looking to deal?
Looking to deal, bro. I can't even get through my freaking mods. Crit damage 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nope. Nope. Crit chance 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right there.
What can I help you find? That filled my inventory. Thank you.
Well, at least now I know I've been hoarding a lot of mods. So that's cool. At least now I know. Bleed resistance. And I can put the bleed resistance on my secondary character. Yeah, all of these. Skill duration can go on my other character. I think I found all my other skill haste mods and all my other protection from elite mods. Nope, that's already on a build. There we go. Chess pieces. Yeah, there are so many. This is ridiculous. And then put those items back into the stash. Boom, boom, boom. And mask. Oof. There are a lot of chess piece mods that I still need to go through. Okay. Now, let's do it this way. One. Easy enough. And then crit damage. So all of those are extra. Holy moly. Fair enough.
This should fill up my inventory. Your business is appreciated.
And that just gave me enough room to finish the chess pieces. So what you can do at this point, and I actually just showed you the technique, is you can then put 7 of each into your stash, and whatever's left over, you just sell. Because remember, you can only hold 7 max at a time. So if you already have 7 of them maxed out, there is no need to be hoarding 58 million mods. Especially if you're not even going to use them. And this will help me look at each of the items equally and figure out which ones to just get rid of, because I don't really use all of these items, but I might have been holding on to them because of the, yeah, all of these are extra. There you go.
Greetings. I'm happy to take all this.
All right, and then that should have fixed my chess piece issue. Boom. Booyah. Cool. All right. Inventory's good. Mods. Oh, yeah, I need to fix the mods. 1. And all the rest of these. Yeah. Yeah, so I had 8 extra skill haste mods. It's crazy.
That filled my inventory. Thank you. That was a good deal.
And as long as you keep, there we go. And then that emptied both of those. And I'm just going to put them right back on my character. And that also gives me more stash space. Look at that. Very good. Now let's just finish up with the blue mods, and then we can move on to our gear sets. Because we still have 94 mods. That's crazy. Do I need? Let's see. I think I have a protection from elites. Yeah, I have 3 of them right there. Okay. So those are good. Next. And then armor on kill. And keep 1 incoming. There we go. Because all the rest of my resistance mods
This should fill
are
up
on my
inventory.
secondary character. And then what that just did is cleared out all my blue mods. Boom. And then put all the bleed resistance on my other character, as well as the incoming repairs, because that's rare. Boom. All right. And then that keeps me at 84 mods on my main, which is fine because I have all of them maxed out. And then put the rest on my other. Very good. All right. So now that we have finished our mods, woof, jeez. That was a whole thing. Now we can focus on our gear sets. So focusing on our gear sets, let's see. What I would do is go to my secondary character.
Safe area detected.
And now that we have room in our stash, I'm actually going to do the same technique. But this time I'm going to do just one category at a time. So let's just do backpacks. And then that way I know all of my gear set backpacks are in my stash. All of them. And then what I can do is just put 1 high end on my character. Booyah. And there you go. So now this character has no backpacks. And then what I can then do is clear all the categories back onto my main. Look at that. And see. Yeah, see, I still have too many. Wow, I still have too many gear sets. Okay. So let's start with backpacks. Now, there are a few things to look for when doing gear sets. So looking for gear sets, you want to find the one with the right bottom attribute. That way you can change the top attribute. Because if you notice, all of these items only have 2 different colors. It's a blue and a red, blue and a yellow, blue and a blue, yellow and a yellow, red and a red, what have you. But nevertheless, every single gear set item only has 2 attributes. So the trick is to find the one with the bottom attribute that you like. That way you can change the top. And then that will dramatically cut down the amount of gear set farming that you have to do. And you're good to go. You could either do, tank builds, all damage builds, a mix of both. And change up some of these skill tiers if you want to. Now, with that being said, what I'm looking for here is I'm going to look for items that don't have expertise. That means they're new. And then I want to look for duplicates. So first up, we are looking for anything without expertise. Right there. Ongoing directive. Right there. Striker. Okay. So in the gear sets, we have ongoing and we have striker. So first, let's go to the ongoing. What's so special about this one? It's crit damage for the bottom. We have one with crit chance at the bottom, but not one with crit damage. Okay. So what I typically do, and here's my whole thing. If it's not a SMG, you want crit chance. If it's a sniper, you want headshot. If it's an SMG, you want crit damage. It all depends on the type of weapon you're using. And typically, you're going to want some crit chance on your weapon if it's not an SMG, because they don't typically come with crit chance. Now, yes, there are some that do, but they are far and few between. So with that being said, this is a good example. I have ongoing directive, and I have two other options here. I have one for crit chance and one for crit damage. Now, the other one is status, but status is one you want no matter what, because that's what ongoing directive is all about. So you want to keep one at least with the status effects. That way you can have fun with that gear set. Now, the other two, it looks like I have one maxed out with crit chance and expertise. And then I just have a new crit damage one here. Now, the reason why I have one here for crit damage is probably for an SMG build. So I'm going to hold on to it. Now, instead of, getting, confused again later on down the road, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out that ongoing. My items are full. Oh, my inventory's full. Ruh-roh, Raggy. Stand by. After we do backpacks, we're going to do gloves. And you're going to be amazed because I'm probably going to have enough room to take all the gear set items back after I show you this trick. Because there's only a few gear sets that you need multiple. There we go. So now all of my gloves and all of my backpacks are in there. Okay. So first up was ongoing, and I want to keep this one. But that way I don't get confused. What I'm going to do is I'll take it out. I'll go ahead and change this one to armor. That way I know I'm going to keep the crit damage. I'm not going to max it out or anything. And then I'm going to just expertise it twice. That way I know that I'm starting to expertise it, and I know that I already changed that core attribute. So that whenever I come back to it later, I know exactly... Oop, and I don't have enough to even spec into it. Okay. Okay. Looks like I'll be farming later. So we'll hold on to that one. At least now that I recalibrated, I know to hold on to it. Moving down, what was the other one? Striker. This one, armor regeneration. We have hazard, crit, headshots. And I think the hazard... Okay. No, we'll keep that because of a armor regeneration striker build. So that one works as well. So all of them passed that test. Now let's go into the duplicate test. Now backpacks are kind of hard to duplicate. Charging. See, I don't need a Cavalier backpack. I'm never going to use it. Tip of the Spear. I use that backpack. Heartbreaker. I use that backpack. Future Initiative. It does help out your heals. Hardwired. Yep, I use that backpack. Okay. Eclipse Protocol. I have two here. Hazard and Status. Okay. Okay. True Patriot. We have crit chance, crit damage. That way we could go for an all red True Patriot. We have two tipping scales here. One crit, one weapon handling. That's exactly what I want. Two ongoing directive. Well, now three. So, as far as negotiators, though, do I want crit chance on negotiators? Probably not, because I get crit chance from the brand set bonus. For negotiators, I think you primarily want to go all crit damage, because you already get crit chance. And you'll typically be running this with coyotes. Yeah, we can get rid of that one. Okay. Foundry, what's Foundry good for? Half the time, yep. System corruption all day. All right, we have a lot of Striker, but Striker's by far the best. Okay, there you go. So our backpacks are done, and we're getting rid of 2 in the process. So booyah. So now we have all of our backpacks, and we can get rid of this wyvern. Booyah. Cool. And we're at 147. Now, is that with all the other categories cleared? No. Gloves. Oh, yeah, that is. With all the other categories cleared, but gloves. Nice. Okay. So we only have to clear out 20 more spots. Okay. So looking at my Mule character, we now have everything gear set wise. Do I need to hold? Oh, I don't need that pistol. There we go. Yeah, good to go. All right. Now, as far as weapons, let's give this one the slingshot and the safety distance. 2 weapons I probably will not use. That way I don't forget about the Lady Death here or that ACS-12. But all of my characters, I want the quick step for the movement speed. That's mandatory. That is mandatory. All right. Off to gloves. Now, am I going to use Cavalier gloves? Probably. For the hazard for like a, yeah. So the backpacks and the chest pieces are very specific because only some gear sets are worth it and some are not. And you'll see while I'm going through this that I don't have certain gear sets or brand sets, and it's because I never use them. Over the years and years of playing this game, it's not that you find a meta, it's that you find which sets are best to use for all situations. And a lot of the sets you can do for most of the situations. So there's really no need to use another set if it's subpar, compared to whatever is the current quote unquote meta. Now, going back to the gear set items, we're looking for anything with no expertise because these are going to be rarer. There we go, system corruption. So this one has headshot. I already have one with headshot. Okay. But this one I can change to anything, and then this one I could do to armor. Okay. Yeah, because you could do system corruption headshot with a bighorn all day. All right. So we'll hold on to that one for now. See if there's any other ones. Why do we have so many? Oh, because this one we can change to whatever we want, and that one we can change. That doesn't matter then. Oh, because we want it for all weapon damage. Yeah, all the rest of these we typically want. But let's go to which gear sets we don't really use. Cavalier we don't really use at all. Aegis we don't use. I do hardwired, ongoing, yeah. So crit chance, crit damage, and status. So that seems to be the go-to. Foundry all day, tipping scales, status. Yeah, for the iron lung and then crit chance. I typically just do weapon handling for the pestilence and then crit chance for everything else, but yeah, you could do status there. The system corruption, though, I mean, I already have one with headshot. I think I might just get rid of that. And then I have way too many Hunter's Fury here. Crit damage, headshot, crit chance. Do I need the crit chance, though, on Hunter's Fury? I'm going to say no. Heartbreaker. You're a heartbreaker. True Patriot. I think I like the weapon damage more. And then I think we have to keep the rest for all my other builds. I have a lot of builds. So let's see how many we cleared up. Just another 3. Oh, no. A few more than that. 4, 5. Okay. So we cleared up the gloves. Now let's move on to the knee pads. So what you do is you just cycle in 1. Yo, why do I have so many tipping scales there? Yeah. There's a lot of weird duplicates now that I'm looking at it. Oh, the knee pads are crazy. All right. We'll figure that out. We need to do this so that we can get more gear. Boom. All right. Now empty out the knee pads and cycle back in the gloves. Roger. Booyah. Now. Booyah. Okay. So gloves are done on my mule. The backpacks are done on my mule. Look at that. Now we're working on the knee pads. Already halfway. Very good. So first step again, look for something with no expertise, and then we'll look for duplicates. Yeah, see. We have multiple tipping scales here with no expertise. Crit damage, armor regeneration. Why? What? We have 2 crit chance here. What? Why did I do that? See? That's what I mean. I knew I saw something crazy here. Now we have status and we have weapon handling. See, that's insane. Yeah, I'm not going to do tipping scales with status. Let's get rid of those. Same with that one. We'll get rid of those. Tipping scales and status is no bueno. Not in my opinion. Don't quote me on that. Just saying. Just saying. This one I went for a max health build. That was just for gimmicks. We'll get rid of it. Anything else without expertise? Oh, another one right here. Crit damage, though. So we have weapon handling, crit chance, crit damage. Do I need that one? I think that was just to show what max crit damage would look like, but you don't really need that. We have 2 foundry here. Crit chance and then 1 crit chance again. But this one, I was going for an all red foundry, so we'll keep that one again. Negotiators 1, 1 aces and 8s. We need to get rid of that. Get rid of that. There's no need for aces and 8s. There's so many better things here. Then striker, we have hazard. Crit damage. Hazard again, see? Headshot, armor regeneration. Yeah. See, oh, that one's 15 expertise. This one's 12. Okay. So get rid of that. Yeah, we have quite a few we can get rid of. Very good. Umbra. Why do we have so many? Armor regeneration, handling, crit damage, and status. Yep, and yep. And system corruption. There you go. So we matched all of those. Now let's see if we have any more duplicates. Crit damage there. Hazard. Oop, another hazard. Oh, okay. This one I can change to whatever I want. Okay. Status hazard again. Cavalier, I really don't need. Get rid of that one. Maybe I'll dust off Cavalier in the future, but if so, I can just craft it. It's really not that bad. For Cavalier, you're mainly going for crit and or hazard to help out your teammates. But I do know some people that love Cavalier. Yeah, see? There we go. And then let's see if we can transfer them all over. Almost. Oh, never mind. Not so much almost. We're getting there though. Okay, so next up we have, let's go to chess pieces. But once we cycle all of these through, we're going to knock out a really big chunk of the stash that I had. Because I had so many of these gear sets just sitting in the stash. Okay, let's go chess pieces next. And then we'll go holsters. Booyah. And then mask, right? Let's see. We might be able to fit all of them in there now. Giggity. We should. Booyah. All right. So now we're on our last three categories: mask, chess piece, and holsters. So let's start with the mask, I guess. We'll start at the top, work our way down. So again, anything with no expertise. So this one has low expertise, but that's for status. Status crit seems to be the way to go for ongoing. I don't really want... let's go with crit chance. 2 breaking point here. One's crit chance, one's headshot. I really don't need crit chance on a headshot build. You typically just want to go headshot. I don't know why. Maybe I was going for a max crit chance. Crit damage, chance, headshot, armor regeneration, and hazard. All of the Umbras, yeah, all the rest of these look good. Okay. So we just got rid of the 1. Oh, the 2. Okay. So that's the mask. I think we might be in the point in time in the game where there's so many gear sets now that I can't carry them all on one character anymore. Is what it's looking like. Well, we're in our last 2 categories. I guess we'll see. Alright, so chest pieces and holsters. But there are... Oh, see, I can't even carry that many. I do want that True Patriot, though. Alright, starting with the chess pieces. Let's see here. Tipping scales. We have crit chance and crit damage. And then you could change that one to whatever you want. That's fine. Cavalier. Well, we'll get rid of that one. I used Cavalier. It was fun, but there's so many other gear sets out there that are more fun to use. I mean, I'd rather help my team out with ongoing, in my opinion. But that's just me. Let's see. Heartbreaker. Why are there so many Heartbreakers? Hazard. Yep. I mean, all of these work. Okay. And I'm adding more because I'm using more ongoing directive. Okay. So we only gained 1 chess piece out of that. All right. So all that is left are holsters. Okay. Let's see. So first up, Aegis. I use that for the total armor. So I'll probably... did I get rid of all the other ages, though? I don't think I did. I did get rid of the Cavalier. Oh, but I do need one of the Cavaliers for Hazard. Breaking point. That one's Headshot. But I have it to where I can change it. That's not a good one, in my opinion. I'd rather get one with Headshot and change the top attribute. Crit status on tipping. No, no status tipping. No more. I'd rather do Umbra status. System corruption, armor regeneration, yes. Headshot. Health. Yeah, see, that shouldn't have even been in there. Okay. Hunter's Fury, Headshot, Crit Chance, Aces and Eights. Never! You do not need Aces and Eights. There's so many better things. Refactor. We'll get rid of Refactor for now. I'm going to revisit Refactor later. Trust me. Ongoing crit damage, crit chance status. Yep. Then we have all of our Striker. Yeah, looks about right. All of our Umbra. And then we want to get rid of one of the... Let's get rid... Do we want... Yeah, okay. So let's see. How many spots did we open? Another 5 spots. I don't think that's going to be enough. Let's see. Fingers crossed. Oh. Oh, we did it. Nice. There we go. All right. So now my Mule is at 141 out of 150. Perfect. We have all of our extra mods here that I can put on this character, which is fine because it already has all my other extra mods. So now we are good to go. Look at that. Very good. Okay, double check. No exotics, no gear sets. Perfect. Oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Standby. Rut-row raggy. I really hope that's not more than 9. Oh, man. We need 4 more spots. Shoot. Okay. And all of these, yeah, are something that I would need. Man, that's what I get for celebrating too early. I didn't double check. You should have went for the head. For Heartbreaker, what else would I change it to? I mean, I guess Headshot, right? I don't, I guess I could get rid of that. For Heartbreaker, Headshot. Well, no, that's like the Bighorn meta. Oh, as far as Foundry, I don't need 2 here. I run way more than just crit chance. Get rid of that one. Oop, True Patriot. Oh, I already... Son of a... Oh, I can change that one. That's right. That was for the all red build. Already did it. Okay. So we still need 2 more spots. Oh, man. Man, oh, man. So we have Cavalier there. We already have 1 Cavalier. How many Cavalier do we need? Hazard. Yeah, but that's Hazard with the bottom. Yeah, same with this one, though. We only need 1, though. I think it'd be easier for the holster. So get rid of the mask. Because that way we can run like Coyotes, Catharsis, Tinkerer, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that puts us, I think, at one more. Yeah, dude, we need one more. One more spot open up. Okay. As far as the backpacks go, do I typically run the ongoing backpack? Let's start there. The ongoing backpack increases the duration of your bleed status and the bleed. Yeah, I could get rid of one of those because I'm not typically going to use the ongoing backpack. That's why I have an extra one. There we go. Okay. So now my mule is completely full. So next season, whenever I do another one of these, I will have to figure out what to do because they're going to add even more. Oh, and I don't even have Concentrate Company on here. It's on my primary character. Man. Yeah. I mean, at least I got it out of the stash. That's what I wanted to do for the video, and I cleared out those mods. But, man, I'm going to have to figure out what to do next season whenever they add even more. And that's the problem, I guess, is the more they add, the more it's like, well, where do I put it, you know? We shall see.
Safe area detected.
Okay, so now when I go to my stash, I have 376 out of 450. That's actually really good. And then, oh, see, I have double. Yeah, see, now I have to do that. Okay. So my third character is exotics. And let me double check my fourth character for the quick step. Because remember, I want one on each character. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum.
Safe area entered.
And you want one? Yep, I have one on that character. You want one on each character for the movement speed. The movement speed is so good, it's hard to pass it up, truly. You don't want to pass up that movement speed. Okay.
Safe area detected.
This character has the quick step. Okay. So I believe all my characters have the quick step, so I don't need any more quick steps. Okay. Let's make sure my secondary character does have that quick step. And then we're just moving on to my primary character, the stash, and we're good to go. I'm wondering how low I can go. Because I still need to farm Unit Alloy's backpack. And I still need to farm my Concentrate Company. And yes, I do have the quick step on here. Okay. So all my other characters are done. I am wheezing. I'm talking way too much, and the Tamiflu is wearing off. Hold on. Ugh. Okay. There we go. Gotta hit my inhaler. And finish up this inventory and stash management. It's a journey every time, but it's worth it. I learned so much every time I do this.
Safe area entered.
Because I'm like, why am I doing X, Y, or Z? And then I think about it, and I'm like, oh, yeah. It's usually, oh, it's because you're lazy, bro. Okay. So any duplicates or anything now should be in the stash. Double check my character. I have my quick step. Check each of the categories. And then that way, oh, see, I have one heartbreaker there. Yeah, I'm going to have to figure out what to do with my gear sets. Now, what Heartbreaker is that? Heartbreaker Hazard. Oh, but I was changing it up. Yeah, see. That's why I got rid of that one. Okay. All right. So let's start with our sidearms, because I saw some duplicates here. First up, we have the Orbit duplicate. I don't need that second one. Booyah. Next up, I don't need either one of these quick steps because each of my characters already has one. The Harvest Determined, that's meta. Perfect Determined, no, get that out of here. So the trick is to go higher damage with Determined and don't go Perfect Determined. And just thank me later. It's worth it in the end. TDI card custom, in sync, yeah, that's pretty much meta. And we're good to go here. Backup, boomstick, damage targets out of cover, preservation. Good. Going to our weapons, yeah, look at this. We have 3 caretakers. And they're all god rolled because they all drop god rolled. So we're clearing up our inventory really quick. Holy crap. And again, you want to look for anything without expertise. So the first sight, am I really ever going to use that again? Optimist. I'm not going to use the first sight. I think it's trash. The FAMAS, damage to targets out of cover. Yeah, but look at the expertise. It's that low because I've never used it since. I've never used the Kingbreaker. Not going to use that one again. The Huntsman's maxed out. Going to keep that. The FAMAS, we're going to hold on to it. Police M4, Police M4 again. I don't need that one. What the hell was I thinking there? The Dark Winter. I already have a Dark Winter, don't I? Yeah, it's on my main character right here. Okay. So I don't need that. I'm starting to see what I'm doing. I hoard weapons. And I don't even think about that I already have them. The slingshot. And we'll hold... I'm never going to use the slingshot. Yeah, I guess we'll hold on to it, but it's garbage, man. Okay, so we have multiple vectors here with no expertise. And I already have a 45 with damage to targets out of cover. And both of these are with damage to targets out of cover. Yeah, let's just go ahead and get rid of them. I know I was using them for a Tinkerer build, but I don't need them. All right, so we have 2 bell ringers here. No, I have my God rolled one. I don't need optimal range. Get rid of that. As far as M60s. Oh, that was for a Tinkerer build. Yeah, get rid of those. I don't need those either. ACS 12's good. M870's a monster. Rock and Roll, Stack Broker. These are all really good weapons. The Thorn. I'm not really using the Thorn, dude. I'm not. We'll get rid of it. The O'Carroll. I'm not really using it. Yeah, but I do use it from time to time for videos. Classic and Monet. Cooler. I'm not using the Cooler either. LVOAC. I'm not using. And the Virginian. No, people want to see the Virginian. I'll hold on to that. Okay. So we have all the weapons I want to hold on to. People keep asking about the Purist. The Apartment. We'll still hold on to it. I do have a part of me that loves perfectly measured just because of the old rail splitter from back in the day. Okay. So we just cleared out our weapons. Now let's finish up our gear, and we're done. So we're looking for anything with no expertise. There's one right there. Chill Out Mask. Armor regeneration, just like that one. Those are the same. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Okay. Yeah, this might be a lot easier than I thought. Because once I expertise upgrade it, it's usually something I want to hold on to. So only from time to time do I find myself with duplicates. But that's usually because I put it on one character and I forget about it. These are the same, but this one can be changed to crit damage, I guess. I don't think I would ever change it, though. As far as Eminence Armaments, double crit, weapon handling, and crit. I'd probably want to go weapon handling and headshot. Maybe. Double crit. Yeah, for that one, it would be weapon handling and headshot. We'll hold on to it. I want to use that for a Regulus build. And that was Eminence Armaments. Okay. Double Araldi. I don't need Araldi anymore. I'm not really running it. This one, Marksman Rifle, Headshot. I mean, even for a headshot build, I'm not going to use it. I'll probably get rid of it. I'm going to use it for a double crit because I used the max damage to armor. But that's a different build for a different day. Bellstone. The zoo. I'm not using the zoo. Even for rifles. I'm not really a big rifle fan. We have 2 Y'all gear. 1 hazard. 1 armor regeneration. Probably get rid of the hazard. No, we'll hold on to it. I can think of some builds to use. 2 electric. Status crit and status armor regeneration. Well, that one's for a bleed build and that one's for a vampire build. I can already understand that. Double crit badger. Armor regeneration, crit damage, crit chance. Yes, yes. Providence with double crit. No. If I'm going to use Providence like that, I need a headshot. You don't really use Providence for crit builds anymore. That's an old thing that we used to do way back in the day. Habsburg Guard, armor regeneration, headshot. Yeah, not really. I don't think so. I'll think about it. Heligard, crit. Lingmo, crit chance, weapon handling. And then this one's for tip of the spear. This one's for skill builds. But if I'm using that for a skill build, would I really be using the mask? I guess. Grupo. Status. We'll just stick with the skill status. Eminence. Here we go. Now we're back to where we were. So we use Cheska for hazard, or we use it for crit. Using Brazos. Sokolov. 2 Sokolov with no... Oh, they're both double crit. Hold on. Get rid of that one, but they're both double crit. Nice. Richter and Kaiser. Oh, this one's for a solo build. But if I'm doing that, I don't want the mask. If I'm doing this, I don't think I want the mask either. Probably not. Because you'd rather run it with, in conjunction with the Catharsis. Look at how many Hollow Mans we have. So 1 with headshot, 1 with skill damage. With the skill damage, yeah, okay. Hazard and headshot. The headshot I could get rid of. And the Visionario I can get rid of. There you go. Moving on to the backpacks. Legatus, what the hell? crit chance headshot. Nope, get rid of that one. Crit chance headshot unstoppable force. Nope, get rid of that one too. What the hell? We have 2 wyvern, skill haste, creeping death. Okay. Interesting. Return Kaiser. There's perfect. We have multiple anarchist cookbooks. Eesh. Hazard, crit, or armor regeneration. The hazard. Let's get rid of status and crit. Armor regeneration, yes. Grupo for crit damage, weapon handling. Wicked, crit chance. Oh, crit chance status with Wicked. I see. But I already... probably get rid of the companion. Double crit Heraldi. I was just talking about that. Heligard. Get rid of that one. No expertise. Oh, here we go again. Heraldi. Oh, this one's double crit to where I could change the talent. This one's double crit with the fixed talent. I see. Armor regeneration crit, armor regeneration hazard, double crit. Oh, hold on. More Heligards here. Double crit, armor regeneration. Okay, companion. What were the Heligard up here? Headshot concussion. That's dirty. Headshot concussion's dirty. We're going to hold on to those. Habsburg Guard, headshot, armor regeneration. Urban Lookout. Which one was that again? Yeah, get that out of here. That was from last season. No bueno. Then we have our Vigilance for headshot or Vigilance for crit. China Light for the tipping scales. Or tip of the spear. Both of these are the same. Weapon handling headshot. Oh, the headshot. Get rid of that one. That was with the Iron Lung. Liquid Engineer, double crit. And we'll change. Oh, they're basically the same. Let's go with crit chance. Yeah. Brazos, why do we have 2? We don't need 2. Matador, we don't need 2. Imminence Armaments, double crit. Bloodsucker. And then crit damage headshot, unstoppable. Nope, get rid of that one. Sokolov Concern, we have double crit, armor regeneration, double crit again. These are the same thing. Why? What can we change on that one, though? We're at Sokolov Concern. Double crit, double crit, double crit. Oh, that one I can change. This one I can change the talent. So this one is trash. Okay. Palisade, China. All of these are looking fairly strong. Bloodsucker, creeping, and wicked. The gift. We don't need the gift. Yeah. This is... Oh, that one's for headshot. There we go. Healer build, crit build. Perfect. Alps, we don't need it. Don't need it. Vigil, we don't need. Okay. Now we're dropping it down. We went from 370 down to 320. Holy guacamole, Batman. All in meanwhile, look at that. So for this stash, did we start with the mask? We did. So we did mask and backpacks. So we are now on the gloves. Yeah, we're 2 out of the 6, and we're already down to 328. This is really good. I can finally do some unit alloy farming and some concentrated company. Very good. Hazard handling the death grips. Don't need the death grips. As far as Grupo, just go status. This one's double crit. Already have it. Why do we have so many Eagle's Grasp? Nope. Crit chance status, crit chance status. That's the exact same thing. Habsburg, crit chance, headshot. Anything else that stands out? Y'all gear. Double crit, armor regeneration hazard, Legatus. We don't need the Legatus. Y'all gear again. Nope, get rid of that one. Palisade, Fenris. This is the same thing again. And this one's a better roll. Uzina could go double crit, and then we have Bellstone. Okay. So gloves are now done. Look at that, halfway. Only 3 more categories, and I'm all done. Chess pieces. I am not really using Zoo at all. Crit chance, headshot, headhunter. That could be so dirty, though. Double crit spotter, magazine size. Double crit spotter, magazine size. That could work. Double crit, intimidate, unbreakable. Shoot. Don't really need the intimidate. Providence, no. Kind of done with Providence. Unless it's the perfect glass cannon. Perfectly skilled, no. We don't need that or the battery. Don't need that either. They fixed all that, so no one's using those ever again. Dude, we're almost down to 300 in the stash. This is really good. I'm about to put my farming pants back on. Status crit, status headshot. Okay. And then that one's with efficient. But I already... Oh, yeah, you could change it. Okay. Closer. Providence. Double crit spotter. Nice. But I'm not using it. Probably for a reason. I'd probably rather use perfect spotter. Trauma. Equalizers. Yo, why do I have so many equalizers? Crit damage, weapon handling, crit chance, armor regeneration. Get rid of that one. This one would be... no. Get rid of that one. Crit chance, armor regeneration. That one could be fun. Status, weapon handling. Status. No. Hazard chance. No. Armor regeneration or double crit. Then we have our everyday carriers, double crit and armor regeneration. Fine. The double crit one, not really. Not really. Ferocious Calm, never. Brazos, Hanayu, Fenris, a few Fenris here. Double crit, Spada. Y'all Gear, Hazard, Unbreakable. Double crit, Spotter. Couple Henris. Already have one. Bellstone, double crit. Don't need that one. Lingmo. Trauma. No. Good. Sokolov Concern. Sokolov Concern. Yeah, see, this is where I messed up. If I just had one with double crit, I would be able to get rid of all of these, but I don't for some reason. It's weird. Sawclaw Concern with double crit. There you go. Then we have the Petrov Obliterate, Heligard, Spotter. Oh, okay. So if that one, where's the other China Light? Standby. Some of these, they have different ones in different locations. Electrique, Hanayu, China Light. Okay. Let's get rid of that. Dude, we're not even going to use some of these anymore. Like, Walker Harris is going to be pretty much donezo. Yeah, Walker Harris is pretty much done. Look at all these y'all gear. Double crit spotter. Weapon handling spotter. Crit handling. No. Yeah, we're about to get below 300. Holy crap. Alp Summit, that's a good one, but we're not using it. Fenris, status, crit, trauma. Double crit. Already have one, yeah. Weapon handling, intimidate. Could be good. No more braced. Alps. See, that's the Alps I want. And then we have the 2-0Fs. Don't really care. Okay. All right. So now we're at 298. Look at that. Holy moly, I don't think I've seen my stash this low in freaking years. All right, as far as holsters, why do I have... What's Shiny Monkey? Oh, healing. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that is pretty cool. The claws out. Why do I have so many? These are for bonk builds. I don't need crit. I don't need status. Usina double crit all day. We have a lot of electric. Double crit, crit status, those work. Badger Tough double crit, that works. Fenris, double crit right there. So why do I have all of these double crit? Holy crap. Okay. Bye. 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 Like you're in sync. Headshot crit. Armor. There we go. Status head. Okay. More Providence. Headshot. Region. Double crit. We're not going to use that. Crit headshot. Yeah, we could use that for a damage build. And, salvo. Salvo or salvo? All right, so regeneration, yes. Crit damage. I think I already have one crit damage. Weapon handling hazard. Status. Handling for the pestilence. Hazard. No. Crit damage. Handling. Or armor regeneration, yep. Another y'all gear. So we have double crit hazard. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Crit status. That's different. Okay. Weapon handling. Armor regeneration. Don't really care for it. Spot on. Get out of here. Walker Harris is getting phased out, actually. Yeah, Walker Harris is getting phased out. No Alps. Crit. Double crit. Okay. And double crit zoo. All right. So the final tally is we now have a stash that is 283 out of 450. So I could put all of my gear set items and exotics into my stash and it would fit. I don't even need a mule character right now for the first time ever. But I think that's because I phased out a few of the gear sets and I focused on the stronger sets and just the attributes that I need with those sets. So that's really good. Really, really strong. So now I can put all of those things back together, or I think I'm just going to keep them on my mule characters because that way I can farm for more and I know exactly how to organize them. I mean, that's pretty damn good. I'm liking it. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Merry Christmas. That is my entire inventory and stash management. And now I can enjoy all the new holiday gifts that I get this holiday event season. But that's it for me. Take care of yourself. Enjoy the time with your family. And I'll see you in the next one, all right? Peace out.